Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Day video. It's Monday, which means another staking update video. This is for week 21. And as usual, before I jump into the figures for the previous week, just to bring you up to date with any kind of changes and housekeeping and stuff like that. And unfortunately, this week has been a bit of a kind of a crazy kind of week. After a few weeks of sort of like nice sort of regular returns, no kind of issues, I've been plagued with issues this week. I've done a fair amount of trading. So first thing is I've done a fair amount of trading. So Linda, Vulcano and Bulwark, the coins have not been in my staking wallet for pretty much all this kind of week, but we do have coins back in them now. So I've been trading those coins. They've all had spikes in price over the last kind of couple of weeks. So I sold and bought back cheaper. So we do have more coins than we did before. And I did notice that today, so this is after I took the figures for this last night, but today I started to receive some stakes for some of those. So the figures are down a little bit because of that. The other issue is yesterday my main staking machine, which is a Windows 10 machine, got the classic Windows blue screen of death. I'm not quite sure what happened. Said there was some kind of hardware fault. I rebooted it and it all seems to be running again now, but unfortunately when a machine kind of crashes kind of like sort of like severely whilst wallets are open and blockchains are updating, that it did kill a load of the wallets, and a load of the wallets then needed to either resync basically kind of like all their kind of blockchains. So one I had to kind of wipe out. I had to kind of download a snapshot of the kind of blockchain. I think it was kind of Helix. Bulwark and a couple of others insisted on kind of re-indexing everything that was kind of on disk, and it meant that for kind of hours and hours that they were kind of coming back online. So it took quite a while. I don't know exactly when it went down. It must have been sometime yesterday because I was checking on that machine in the morning. It was fine then, but yeah, just had a kind of a bit of an issue with that, unfortunately. So that was a bit of a blow. And also BitcoinConfidential, there was a new wallet. It wasn't compatible. It wasn't an easy one where you could just update the original BitcoinConfidential kind of wallet. So I downloaded a temporary one onto my local Mac. I sent the coins over to that, sent them back, and then I deleted the wallet. I made a note of the recovery phrase so that you can use a recovery phrase rather than the kind of wallet. But I'm not quite sure what happened, but I seem to have the wrong recovery phrase. So I sent them over, they didn't arrive. I deleted the wallet, the sort of temporary wallet on my local kind of machine by then. And when I went to reinstall from the recovery phrase, it didn't seem to work for whatever reason. So I lost those BitcoinConfidential. So that was a little bit of a blow as well. So BitcoinConfidential no longer on the list, but I have put last week's kind of stake into this other and sold pile. So yeah, anyway, bit of a turbulent week this week, but without further ado, let's jump in and have a look at the figures. Starting at the top of the week top of the list as always with NAV. 6 NAV worth $1.29. 24 Syndicate worth 45 cents. 0.566 Neo gas worth $1.70. 752 SmartCash worth $7.05. This is the Smart Rewards payout. So this came through on the 26th, I think it was yesterday. So this is every kind of 4 to 5 weeks. It's once a month. So I think next month will probably 5 weeks till our next installment. But this comes through just once every 4 or 5 weeks, once a month. So we won't have that for a few weeks. Nothing for Linda. As I said, I've been staking Linda. Oh, sorry, trading Linda, Vulcano and Bulwark. 2 PIVX worth $1.33. 6.28 Shard worth 15 cents. 162 Helix. I managed to get my Helix wallet onto an orphan chain as well this week. It's something I didn't mention earlier. So I lost a kind of a day, probably a day and a half worth of staking because of that. So 162 Helix worth 78 cents. And then no Volcano, no Bulwark because they were not in the wallets. Now, the good news is I've acquired one more Neo this week. I traded in some of my gas. The gas price has been pretty strong last few days. So I traded in some of the gas rewards in the last few weeks, bought another Neo. And I have more Linda, more Volcano and more Bulwark. So I sold those at when the price spiked up and then bought back a little bit cheaper. So I bought back a few more of those. So we've got a few more kind of coins. So going forward should help us. But a grand total this week of $12.75. If we jump into the graph, you can see a big jump up over the last few weeks. But this is the week like this one where the smart reward payouts happen. So it should really be a little bit higher than that. Obviously, I think if we had a Bulwark, Vulcano, and Linda all staking, we probably would have had a few dollars more this week. But I'm pretty happy with how everything is going despite the problems this week. We're back on kind of track now. Everything's up and running and staking again, and we're seeing some really good movement with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin last night went up another sort of $700. It went from around the sort of $8,000 mark up to sort of 8,788. So it's nice to see that kind of moving. We haven't seen a huge amount of kind of movement with a lot of these kind of smaller cap coins, but we are starting to see some improvements. So it'd be interesting to see, as I mentioned kind of before, as time goes on, if Bitcoin continues to go up in price, that normally translates into firstly the large cap kind of altcoins, and then trickles down into some of these kind of smaller caps. So it'd be interested to see if any of those kind of gains get passed through to some of these coins as well. But that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching as always. If you can give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. It helps other people find the video, really helps with the promotion on the kind of channel and YouTube's algorithm. But that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.